Hey guys, so this is the purse that I showed you I was working on. Well, it's not done yet, obviously, but this is where I'm at right now. It says Nintendo, obviously, and this part glows in the dark. I used a darker red for the Nintendo part, and a lighter red for the outside. There's the fishing wire. Then on the back, there's these two mushrooms, Mario mushrooms. They're just kind of cute colors, and that's where that is. It's pretty much all that I can say about that. I'm just showing you guys kind of step by step how I do this, and I want you guys to really see how it is just a big cuff. I'm not like lying, and there's no secret that I'm keeping from you. That is all I do, is I make a giant cuff when I make it. This was just a giant cuff when I made it. It's full of candy, but yeah. So, today I want to show you really quick how to do a multi-stitch cuff for people who aren't quite there yet, so that they will know what to do, so that everybody can make one of these. So I'm just going to grab some bead and stretch. Then I'm going to show you guys how to do it really quick. Let me find the ending of this. Okay, I'm not sure where the ending of that is right now, so I'm going to pull off some of this. Okay, there's the ending. Okay. So we're getting some string. That should be enough for what I'm doing. Okay. So you got your string. This is hard angles. Hold on. We got our string. Right here. Trying to make this so you guys can actually see it, because I'm working with a tripod for the first time. Okay, so we have this string here, and what you want to do is get the colors that you're going to use. So I'm just going to use a color that I've got a lot of, and I'm going to use a bunch of this purple color here. So I'm also going to make this kind of small, since I'm just showing you guys how to multi-stitch. First off, you would count out about how many beads it takes to get around your wrist. So for a beginner, you kind of need to see, like, with your wrist size, how many you're going to need. I've kind of been doing this for a while, so I already know about how many it takes for me to get around my wrist. So then you bead on how many beads it takes to get around your wrist, kind of like the owl with the Tootsie Pops. How many licks does it take to get to the center? And you just bead them on to the string. And this is a pretty basic part of candy making. With this multi-stitch type of beading, you can do a lot of patterns off of candy patterns. If you don't know how to read a pattern, then I can show you how to do that. Yeah. Just make sure you don't start trying to bead a payout stitch or a melty bead, because that would be bad. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay. So you would have your beads on your string here. And if it was your first time kind of making something, you would check to make sure that it does fit well around your wrist. So this is a good size for me because it's not too small, but it's not too big. So that's a good size. And then you're going to tie it off, which just means you're going to tie it. I actually, for some reason, I'm dumb with bead and stretch, and sometimes it takes me a little while for tying, especially when you're tying on new string, because bead and stretch hates me. Okay. So you just are tying it, and tying it. And then before you, like, cut this string, or you do anything, like stop tying, always make sure you pull it to make sure that once you do, like, cut the string off and you pull it, it's not just going to come untied because it wasn't actually good. So that should be fine. And you're going to take your scissors and cut off the short extra string, not the long string. And then you've got this little single on a string. Do 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 do. Alright. So yeah, you got the little single on a string, and you're going to take the end of that long string that you left on, and you're going to take it, and you're going to bead up, into the bead that's right there. See, I tied it here, and that's where I cut off the little string from, and the next bead up, I'm going to pull the string through it, so that there's my first tie. Well, it helps if I'm in the camera. There's my first tie. Here's the bead that was next to it, and this is how the string is through that bead now. It might be hard to see because of my camera, but yeah. So now that you're through this first bead here, I keep having issues knowing where the camera is looking. Maybe if I do this a little bit, it could help. Like I said, first time with the tripod, guys. Okay, so, yeah, that looks a little better. So, yeah, this is where we have it, and then we just pulled it through this bead, and now we're going to start on what's technically going to be our third row, but for all learning purposes right now, think of it as your second row. And you can use the same color, or you can use a different color. So I'm going to pull out some orange here to add some color to my bracelet. And you're going to put a bead on the string, just one bead. And then you're going to take this, where it's at, you see it's coming through this bead right here, right there. You're going to bead it, the string through this bead. Skip over this bead like this. So you just skipped a bead. As you can see, we skipped over that little bead. And then you pull it through so that you get this. It kind of looks like that one's wearing a hat now. And you're going to continue that process throughout this whole strand. So skip a bead, do 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 do, and skip the bead. And then once you start doing that, you kind of get this little X-y shape. And we want that X-y shape. Yeah, my scissors just like effed everything up. bad scissors. I know it might be hard to watch me, guys. I'm sorry. String, 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 string.
Finally being ready to get back in the game. Hey, Katie, wanna grab a drink?
Yeah, but not with you.
Sorry if I'm beating all slow, guys. Trying to make sure I don't screw up on camera, because that would just be embarrassing. Why won't this go through? Yeah. I'm going slow, lets me keep up in time with you guys. So you can see this little like purple sunshine thing that's going on. That's actually what we want. You want it to look like that. If it looks like that, you're doing it right.
He's disgusting. You want me to go on? Once he wanted me to approve a contest where he would give a new toilet to the listener with the largest bowel movement. On the air. I mean, you can imagine the logistics of that.
We're almost there, guys.
You know, when I look back on this moment in my life, I really wanted it to work. I wanted this to be the biggest moment in the history of entertainment. I'm not kidding.
I probably should have said this earlier, but when you make this single that goes around your wrist, the purple that we started with, make sure it's an even number, because if it's not an even number, then these oranges won't match up with it, or your rows won't match up, and it has to be single. It's kind of a very important thing to make sure of. So, sorry I didn't say that earlier. I was scatterbrained. Okay, so you come to the end here, and that's where we're at. And when you come to the last bead, I guess I should show you guys that. When you come to this last one where you have the orange bead on, but you're not sure where to string it because you have this orange bead here, and you've got all these beads right here, and you're like, where do I put this? Where you're gonna string this through is just like all the other ones. You want it to go through this purple bead, because that's how it worked with all the other ones. You skip a bead, string through the next. So even though there's an orange one like on top of it, you still want to string through that bead. So you want to finish it off so that it looks like that. Now that the string is coming through this, sorry, I can't find the camera, through this purple bead, instead of stringing a bead on now, you're going to take that string and just go straight up into the orange bead that's on top. So this will be the first orange bead that you strung, and you pull up through it. So now your string is coming out of an orange bead, like that. And now you finished your third row. So if you turn it to the side, you see this like bracelet starting to form. And then you would just go through and finish off the bracelet and do the same thing as before, except now, since it's in the next row, you would string through all the orange beads. So you would skip over the purple bead and put the string through the orange bead, skip the purple bead, string through the orange bead. And that's really all it takes to making a multi-stitch Kandi bracelet. you'd continue this pattern. Then when you come to the end again, make sure you string it through this orange bead that you started with. And then when the string's through this orange bead, just pull it through that orange bead and start your next row. If there are any questions about this video or about making candy, message me or comment on this video. I can make any tutorial you'd like, and I promise I will work with this tripod system to get it so that you can see everything better. Yeah, so just remember that once you get this pattern down, you can make other bracelets with it. Like this is a OFWGKTA bracelet that I made. You can do stuff like this once you learn how to get this pattern down. And also you can do stuff like this, like the purse that I'm working on. That's all the same pattern. So once you master that, there's a lot of stuff you can do. So thanks for watching, and comment, message, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks, guys.